a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
Oh, it's March through the classics all month long here in March. We're starting with No Deposit, No Return, and I have seen this VHS tape in the bin since week 1 back in 2019, and for some reason I could have sworn there was a horse on the cover with Don Knotts. Horse and Don Knotts. Anyway, let's put it in, we press play. Walt Disney presents animated skunk sticking its head in a purse and things go red as the credits start. I've never even heard about this movie at all. Nothing. Suddenly, kids are on a magic carpet. This is still animation. They fly away. This intro cartoon footage is all set to some trippy spy music. Okay, for over 5 years, I've been like, I don't want to watch the Don Knotts horse movie. There's no horse at all. We're off to the Marion Hadley School. There's a little girl named Tracy with a big suitcase. She emerges, and she has no idea where she's about to go. Mrs. Hadley, the teacher, asks, where's your mom, Tracy? And she goes, I hope your mom comes this time so Easter isn't as disappointing as Christmas was. Ouch! The little girl, Tracy, says, hey, that wasn't my mom's fault. Also, Miss Hadley asks where her brother's at, and she says, my brother's at half-mast, and the teacher looks up, and there is her little brother, Jay, halfway up the flagpole. That caught me off guard. That's really funny. Made me laugh out loud. Mom shows up in the car, but no, it's not Mom. It's the maid or someone else driving. Jay's the boy. He has a pet skunk, and this driver lady, she goes, okay, bring the skunk, but just roll down the window. Okay. The little boy then gives Mrs. Hadley, the teacher, a gift box as they leave, and Hadley opens it up, and it's a frog, and it jumps down her cleavage, and that's some old-timey comedy right there. So many knees slapped at this scene back in 1976. She claims their mom is stuck in Hong Kong, and this is the 3rd school break in a row. The kids spray the driver in the face with ketchup. Okay, this is Miss Murdoch, the driver. She works for the mom or the family, and she takes the kids to the airport because they're going to go to fly to grandfather's house in LA for the break. The boy says he'd rather be in prison. Oof. We cut back and forth between the kids on the plane and the old man obsessed with his crystal collection. This is Mr. Osborne. He's childproofing his place. That's funny stuff. So Grandpa is not a fan of these kids. Miss Murdoch, the ketchup-faced driver, is not a fan of these kids. The teacher, Hadley, with the frog in her cleavage, is not a fan of these kids. Mom, clearly not a fan of these kids, but Grandpa drew the short straw. Opposites attract when these 3 are forced to spend Easter together. They're rambunctious kids and he's a stuffy old millionaire. Sounds like these 3 are made for each other. That's my trailer. Here we go. Don Knotts is driving Herbie and this henchman looking guy is riding shotgun and the plan is to rob a bank or an airport? I'm confused because the kids on the plane are conspiring to hop gates when they land in LA, and instead of seeing Grandpa, they're going to get on another plane and go surprise Mom in Hong Kong, and these guys are robbing a bank. Yeah, I think. Okay, now 3 things are happening once. Okay, let's stay with me. Grandpa Osborne arrives at the airport and sends his butler in to someone to get the kids because he doesn't want to see them. The kids land, but the skunk gets loose and the airport is chaos as everyone runs from the stinky stinker. Ron and the bank robbers are robbing the bank, or are they robbing the airport? Is it Ron? I think it's the bank next to the airport. Anyway, they pretend to be repairmen. I don't know who Ron was. They get a safe open and they start grabbing the money and shedding their repairman costumes, and the cleaning lady busts them and they take off running. So much is happening. Everyone is outside now. The kids and the robbers get into the same cab at the same time and it speeds off as the kids and the robbers argue about whose cab this actually is. Little girl Tracy's like, what are you doing with all those burglar tools? The bumbler cops arrive and recognize the robbers' MO for opening the safe. Ah, he's back. This is the work of the one bank robber I've never been able to catch. Awesome. The cab lets everyone out, and the robbers want to leave the kids on the street at night, but the kids put on a show, and they're coughing and shivering. The robbers are like, all right, you two, come with us for now, because, okay. The robbers take the kids, and some guy named Joe is waiting for them in the apartment. They owe Joe $5,000, but with inflation, it's up to $9,000. Joe says he doesn't care about the money. It doesn't matter to him that he's late, but he works for the computer. And you know how computers go. And then he menacingly says, clickety-clack, clickety-clack, and it's terrifying. Like, legit scary the way this mob guy is threatening them without threatening them. Fantastic stuff. Don Knotts is just the driver, and he tries to make a note to Joe, I'm just the driver. And then Joe low-key threatens Knotts. He asks about his mother. This is good stuff. Joe tells Duke he's the main robber. He has 72 hours to get the cash, or else they will disappoint the computer. Clackety-clack. Clickety-clack. I'm nervous. This is tremendous execution. The kids realize Duke and Knotts are in trouble with the mob, and these two idiots need the money more than the kids need to get to Hong Kong. So the next morning, the kids got up early and cooked bacon. And if I know anything about winning over your captors, it's by cooking bacon. Oh my God. Okay, so during the night, the kids sent a ransom note to their own grandpa. So they kidnapped themselves. These kids are like, Grandpa can spare the money. You guys can pay Joe back, and he won't snap you like a pencil. And we can go fly to see our mom in Hong Kong. Everyone wins. And the girl goes, oh, please, Duke, just please kidnap us. This is great. What a legit great premise. Grandpa finds the ransom note, and he knows that the little girl Tracy wrote it, and it's fake, and she's not actually in trouble. And she somehow found a couple of complete bumblers to go along with her stupid plan, though. So he's not going to pay. He's not going to give the ransom. He's not going to pay money. This right here. This movie with Don Knotts and a horse that I've passed over for 5 years is soaring its way up through my top 25 Disney movies into my top 10. Grandpa returns the letter and says he needs more time to get the money together, which is not true. He's going to need probably until after the Easter break when school's back in. The bad guys should send Grandpa one of the kids' severed fingers, but no, they don't want to. They don't want to do this anymore. They don't even want to follow, they don't even write a follow-up ransom note. They're like, this is a dumb idea, we're out. The kids fire back themselves, though. They call the police and are like, help! They're coming for us again! Pray for us! Click. Now everyone's taking the kids seriously. Mob boss Joe stops by and is like, no money, huh? Clickety-clack, clickety-clack. $11,000 now. So the robbers are like, yeah, let's write another ransom note. The robbers watch the news and they see the cop that's hot on the case of these two safe crackers turned kidnappers. The smart one leaves Farley in charge of the bees when he goes to mail the new ransom note and tells Knotts to watch the kids. The days go by. The kidnappers keep lowering the ransom because Grandpa isn't biting. New total is $13,000, and Big Joe is pissed. They're getting down to the wire, and Mom finally comes home to get involved. She's mad her kids have been kidnapped, and the grandpa doesn't care and won't pay the ransom. They finally arrange a pickup. She's going to pay. Everyone involved now is wearing masks. The police guy is wearing a grandpa mask because he's going to go undercover as grandpa. That's funny. The kidnappers are wearing a clown and a wolf mask. The real grandpa Osborne shows up and stands next to the police guy in a grandpa Osborne mask, and Knotts goes, oh, there's two grandpas. It's a setup. And we move into the car chase part of the movie. Mom runs and dives into the back seat of the convertible with the clown and the wolf robbers. Mom is like, where are my kids? And are you the kidnappers or aren't you? And they're like, sort of. 5-star writing and execution. I love this movie. How have I never heard about this movie before? Don Knotts and his horse. Mom is like, kidnappers have responsibilities. And they're like, you have responsibilities. You can't be flying all over the world. You got to be raising them kids. She's like, what do you know about my kids? And he goes, we just spent 3 straight days with your kids. When's the last time you can say that? Damn! There's a lot of filler in this part of the movie, but it's rare good filler. The sequencing of these car chase scenes is pretty complex and incredibly cut together for the 70s. This whole movie is ahead of its time. The cars just keep getting more and more damaged as the chase goes on for 5, then 10, then 15 minutes. Lots of quick cuts and camera angles. We even get like a Scooby-Doo hallway door bit where they keep crossing left to right out of different places. It finally comes to an end though when the robbers and Mom in the convertible jump docks and the police don't, and they fall into the drink. Back at the apartment, the kids literally catch mob boss Joe and his crony in a Scooby-Doo trap. Then Grandpa comes in, the real Grandpa, to fetch the kids, and he too gets strung up upside down in a Scooby-Doo trap as the kids escape through the window. Took me a few minutes to catch up on my writing, so I missed some things that happened here, but now all the characters that ended up at Grandpa's house, and the kids have locked themselves in Grandpa's giant safe. This is bad news. I don't even know who the bad guys are in this movie anymore, right? The bank robbers, kidnappers seem to be actually like fundamentally better human beings than the dysfunctional mom and the mean grandpa. The safe, though, that the kids lock themselves in is airtight, and they're not going to last more than 20 minutes before they run out of air. Only Grandpa has the combination, and they can't get a hold of him because he's upside down in the Scooby-Doo trap. And now it's crunch time because the two safe crackers could open it, but then they would out themselves as the bank robbers to the policeman who's standing right beside them worried about the kids. This is good. This is amazing writing. You could tell the robber doesn't want to let the kids die, but he also doesn't want to go to jail. So eventually he just gets serious when they're running out of time. He's like, well, I used to work for a safe company. I could try to open it. And the policeman, inspector watches him start to work, and he kind of knows what's up. So the sergeant guy or whoever gives the robber's bag of tools, and he's like, maybe there's something in here that can help open the safe. And the robber's like, oh yeah, maybe. This is good. This is an amazing movie, right? This climax is paying off. Inside the safe, the kids are getting groggy. This is actually making me anxious. The robber gets the first two numbers, then there's a long pause, and then he gets the third. It clicks, he opens it, the kids are alive and free. The lieutenant or inspector or captain or cop or whoever this is like, you know, all this time I thought there was only one safe cracker, but now I feel like there's two. And the first one just retired, and I guess I'll never catch the other one. And the main, like, robber safecracker smart guy's like, yeah, he's retired. Now Grandpa's chill and wants to give the robbers a loan. Grandpa accidentally snaps a pencil and the robbers jump, and we have that nice call back to Joe and his clicky clacks pencil snaps. Mom makes eyes at the handsome retired bank robber. We flash forward in time and the robbers are working for Grandpa now. Grandpa and little boy are having a judo match out front, and Grandpa chucks the kid in the fountain. It's a perfect way to end any movie in my books, and we fade to black. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Good. This movie was amazing. Go out of your way to find this one.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has. Thank you.